time to meet the animals.
I'm scared of the chickens pecking me legs.
The girls dig for victory against the boys.
Don't want to beat the boys. It's getting on my nerves.
And the hard work begins.
You do more talk than ever you do work.
Hello and welcome to Evacuation. Yesterday our modern-day evacuees arrived here at Castle Farm in Norfolk and were transported back 60 years to live in wartime Britain.
Their journey back in time began at a train station where they faced some good old-fashioned discipline.
Stand straight. Hands out your pockets.
After a tearful goodbye to their parents and their first taste of 1940s food, our 12 streetwise boys and girls arrived at their new country home, and there was a big shock in store.
No! Oh my God!
It was bye-bye 2006, hello wartime Britain.
I thought we'd be able to keep some stuff.
And their hosts, Mr. and Mrs. Rivet, certainly won't tolerate any nonsense on their farm.
They are going to live by my rules. This is my home, and they are going to do what they are told.
It's hard work for our evacuees, outside toilets, chamber pots and hearty country food.
If you don't like it, you'll have to leave it, but there'll be nothing till the morning.
It's morning at Castle Farm, and after yesterday's introduction to wartime food, our evacuees are dreading what's for breakfast.
They wouldn't feed us puke or anything, would they?
No.
Would they?
It might look like a pile of sick, but actually it's bubble and squeak. That's leftover potatoes, onions and cabbage, all fried in pig fat.
I was up at 5:30 this morning preparing the breakfast. If I'm putting all this effort into making them good, wholesome meals, they have got to sit and eat it. If they don't, there is a punishment.
With Britain at war, food was in short supply, so these chocolate cereal munchers had better eat what they're given.
There we are. I'll just have some bread. I'll go and get a small plate.
I'm serious, I'm all right.
There was a plate out here for you. Take that and you're going to eat your breakfast.
Thanks, Mr.
Nice try, Harry. But saying no is not an option at Castle Farm.
Mrs. Rivet's cooking is really my favourite food at the moment.
Mrs. Rivet, I think Rivet, makes the wackiest breakfast, like potatoes and cabbage.
She's a bit strict and she makes you eat all this food that's not really nice. It just made me feel sick. It was disgusting.
What do you think?
This morning, the children are in for a treat. They're meeting the farm animals for the first time. But fussy eater Tia Hatton won't be going anywhere until she's finished her breakfast.
It's just fat. It's not butter, it's just fat. And that, I don't even know what that is. It's just, I can't eat that, that's just blank.
And Tia is used to getting her own way.
I'm Tia Hatton. Whatever!
I can get quite angry and moody sometimes and I shout at everyone.
Fuck off!
Little things just kick me off and then I just start screaming and shouting and slamming doors.
I hate you! I hate you!
I call her the stroppy diva. When she goes off, she really, really goes off.
Why can't you leave me alone?
Queen strop.
Get out my feet!
I don't think anybody would like me when I'm angry and stroppy.
Don't leave me.
Good luck, pet. Oh no, what am I gonna do? It's a slot.
So while the others prepare for a tour of the farm, Tia is left to face Mrs. Rivet, alone.
Right. Come on. I want you to eat that breakfast.
I can't eat that.
There is nothing wrong with it. It's mashed
I've eaten most
potato.
of it.
No, you haven't. All you've done is mashed it into the plate.
No, I haven't. I've eaten some of
Put
it.
some on your fork and put it in your mouth and swallow it. Chew it, swallow it. Swallow it, wash it down with some water. Go Go away, girls, and sit down.
Mrs. Rivet has no time for stroppy divas.
Right, I can't wait any longer. I've decided you're not going to go on the farm tour this morning.
And she has the perfect punishment for picky eaters.
Right. OK, I'm going to leave you to do the washing up this morning. All right?
That's 28 plates, 14 teacups, 56 pieces of cutlery and a whole heap of pots and pans, all covered in grease. Nearly an hour later, and Mrs. Rivet's back to check on progress. Will Tia be allowed out to meet the animals?
Have you got through all that? Well, I think you've done really well, and I'm really pleased. Dry your hands and go and join the others in the sitting room, and you can go on the tour. Thank you.
Today I get to go from the tar, but I wasn't really sure I was going to do it because I've been getting punished, but Miss Rivet was really surprised at how I did it, so she's let me go for the tar and with all the other boys and girls, which I think will be fun because I get to see all the animals.
Well, Castle Farm is home to our evacuees for the next couple of weeks, but I think it's time that they got to know some of its other inhabitants. Good morning, girls. How are we doing?
Right, boys and girls. You've met my two friends here, Paul. This is Mr. Patrick, my farmhand, and Miss Victoria, the land girl, who's come up from the city to help us on the farm. Now, we're going to go and have a look at the animals now. Off we go. In a line, please.
Just like the original evacuees, life on a country farm is a million miles away from what these city boys and girls are used to. They like to stay indoors and get waited on hand and foot.
Hi Mum, can you come and fill up my fridge because there's nothing in it and I'm hungry?
For them, looking good is everything. And they think food comes from the local takeaway. But now this soft lot are in for a shock. Back in the 1940s, supermarkets didn't even exist, and if you lived on a farm, food was self-service.
Mr. Patrick, have you collected the eggs this morning?
No, I haven't collected the eggs this morning. I thought they might like to have a try.
And we'll have 3 at a time. Go and collect some eggs. And be careful with those eggs, because what you drop, you won't have to eat.
You can take that one out of there. They've probably got eggs underneath. So there you put your hand under there and get the egg out. She might peck you, but not to worry. See, she's a bit protective. There's one there, I can feed it. There you go, look. You can take that one out now. All right. See, just ease her up. There's lots of eggs under there.
So warm.
Yeah, they're nice and warm. You've all got an egg, lovely. Next 3, Mr. Rivet.
Lurking at the back of the line, Chelsea Thompson is looking distinctly nervous.
Can you sense fear?
Do what?
Can chickens sense fear?
Oh,
Like
yes.
dogs?
Yeah, of course they
So
can.
they'll bite you if I'm scared?
A hen will peck you if she's sitting on a nest of eggs waiting to hatch them out, but normally they won't. Normally, if you go up to a hen, they'll run away.
And while the rest of the evacuees can't wait to get stuck in, Chicken Chelsea is having none of it.
I'm scared of the chickens pecking me legs.
So what are you going to do?
Stay away from them.
Chelsea's fear of chickens is surprising. Back home, it's the animals who are scared of her.
I'm Chelsea Thompson and I'm from Liverpool! I love dressing my dog up. There's nothing wrong with it. You dress chihuahuas up, why can't you dress Molos up? Don't you look cute? Got afros, got my dad's suits, got a little bow tie, so cute. Just love dressing them up. I admit to it, I painted my dog's toenails. Come on, we were having a fashion show. I wanted my dog to look hot.
They won't peck you. They won't.
Land girl Miss Victoria wants Chelsea to conquer her fear and has a chicken licking lesson in store.
Hold on. Get their wings. See? Yeah? Do you reckon you can do that? Grab his tail. Oh. So you want to try and grab? Just grab hold of it. Yeah. Right. So, oh, nearly. Yeah. Hands around his. Yeah. No. You have to really grab it. You have to really get hold of his tail. Yeah. That's it. Grab his wings. Hold his wings down. Push him down. Push him. Right, pick him up. Put his head underneath your arm. Brilliant, you're pro.
I'm pleased because I'm not scared of chickens no more because I felt like a right divvy being scared of them.
Well, you might think that milk comes from a supermarket or that it's delivered to your door. Well, no, it actually comes from Daisy here. And if our evacuees want some milk, they've got to come and get it themselves.
You put your fingers like that, 2 fingers, and this third one, and you pinch and pinch with that one a second. So pinch, see? Pinch, and again. Who's going to be first? You, Luke. OK.
London lad Harry Cracknell is not looking his usual cool self.
That's it. Well done. Well done. Don't be afraid of pulling them. You won't hurt her. Not as easy as it looks, is it?
When you milk a cow, you don't want to get a lot of straw in, do you? You'll be eating straw with your cornflakes.
Don't think you're a milkman, Richard, because it has to go in the bucket.
Try to come out.
It's got to be a bit braver than that. See how hard I pull?
And very soon they get to enjoy one of the perks of living on a 1940s-style farm. At morning break, Mrs. Rivet has a treat.
Want to try some of the milk?
Yes, please.
Probably not enough for a whole cup.
Milk as fresh as it can be. But what will these fussy cola guzzlers make of it?
I know it's just come out of the cow, so that makes me feel better about drinking milk.
It tastes a bit weird because it's warm, but it's not bad. It tastes great. It's like much creamier and delicious.
What do you think?
It's great.
The evacuees seem to be getting to grips with life at Castle Farm.
It looks really good. I'm really excited. And I love all the little animals.
I like the farm. I'd work here. I'll try it out for the holiday, but I wouldn't live here. Wouldn't live here if you paid me £1 million.
Right, can we have all the girls lining up over here and all the boys lined up here? Nice.
Evacuees weren't treated as guests. They had to work for their keep. And back in the 1940s, there was a big difference between the jobs girls and boys were expected to do.
I'm taking the boys' team.
And I'm taking the girls?
Yes.
OK, you're going to come with me. We're going to go and do some cooking.
Mrs. Rivet believes a girl's place is in the kitchen, and she's determined to teach these fast food fanatics how to cook. Today, they have to bake their own bread.
Well, if the girls think they've got it tough, the lads are about to find out that they're in deep doo-doo. Quite literally.
During the war, with the men away fighting, evacuees were often used as free labour on Britain's farms. So our lads will have to do man's work.
Just check it over, look, like that. Just stir it about. If there's any dobs of poo in, flick it out. But leave it, look, 'cause I mean, otherwise we're just wasting good straw, all right? Off you go again.
It's all a bit of a culture shock for self-confessed computer geek Richard Hall.
Not liking it, absolutely stinks. So I'm managing.
So while the boys get shoveling, things are hotting up for the girls in the kitchen. Mrs. Rivet has paired them up for a competition to see who can produce the best bread.
Pour your water in. Get your hands in there now and really manipulate the dough to get it all to come together. This way.
The secret to the perfect loaf is getting the mix of flour and water just right. Mrs. Rivet's standards are very high.
Grief. Let's get some water and see if we can salvage this loaf of bread.
Ours was too dry, and then we had more water, and now it's too wet, and we took this bit more.
I don't think it's going to rise properly because we put in too much flour.
The girls will have to wait till tea time to find out whose bread is best. But did they enjoy their kitchen chores?
To be honest, I'd rather be out playing, but I'd rather be doing this than cleaning out cows.
Back at the barn, the boys are getting stuck in.
Where's Josh?
All except wide boy Harry Cracknell, who is all talk and no action.
Yeah, and brush all the good bits, like all here, over and like near the back.
And the other lads are quick to spot it.
Are you actually going to work or not? I'm waiting for the wheelbarrow.
Mr. Rivet has no time for slackers.
Do you know, my man, I think you're going to be a lawyer. Do you know what I mean by a lawyer? A solicitor, an advocate. I'll tell you for why, because you can talk the hind leg off a donkey. You do more talk than ever you do work. Now get on, get your back into it. That boy Harry, he's work shy. He's seriously got to improve, otherwise there's going to be trouble.
At home in South London, Harry has perfected the art of pulling a fast one.
I'm Harry Cracknell and I'm from South London.
I really like making a lot of money.
Harry's a bit of a wheeler and dealer. He's a little gel boy.
When I'm selling stuff, like I sort of put like an old like cockney where someone
Come get all your second-hand games for £20.
Harry's got the gift of the gab.
Tell you what, I'll give you a deal. 2 games for £40.
He's got the pattern to sell anything. If he can sell it, he will sell it.
I don't get embarrassed because I feel like loads of people do it, so I might just give it a try and that.
Sweet.
Harry's laziness is beginning to annoy the other boys, especially Luke Burton.
Come on, get you back into it.
Get you back into it. You're not even doing nothing.
No, I'm doing nothing. I've done more work than you.
Yeah.
Everyone's done more work than you.
All you've done was the wheelbarrow.
I helped you put the stuff in the wheelbarrow, spreaded it.
All you've done was the wheelbarrow.
You couldn't even lift the wheelbarrow for a start.
Oh, yes, I could.
Have some of that.
It seems at Castle Farm, nobody likes a layabout.
I think Harry with his chores, I think he's not as good. I think we're doing all the hard work and he's thinking he's doing all the hard work, but he's not.
Harry's a bit like big-headed and he thinks he's better than everyone else, and then when he gets pulled wrong or we all make a jerk, he gets like really defensive and then gets really angry.
Harry, he's not right. He just thinks he's so full of himself and he just doesn't get it. He doesn't give up. He's just so full of himself. He's like, yeah, I can do this, yeah, I can do that.
Well, what can I say about Luke? If, say, we're struggling a bit, he always goes, come on, do your best and that, look like me, and he don't really do that much.
It's mid-afternoon, and our evacuees are enjoying some quiet time back at the house. While the girls are behaving like little angels, boys will be boys. They've gone completely off the rails. Oh dear, that sounds like someone's broken a chamber pot. Luke Burton is looking decidedly sheepish, and after their run-in this morning, work-shy Harry can't wait to drop him in it.
Right, what happened with
this? Well, Luke sort of got Richard in the cupboard, and like they were all throwing all torches in that to him, and like as Richard's got out, I think he's sort of pushed it onto Luke, and Luke sort of like let go, and it's just smashed.
All right, I'll go and deal with Luke. If you can go into the sitting room, please, boys. I will not have these evacuee children just coming into my home and just breaking things and acting like a bunch of hooligans. Right. Apparently you were looting around up here, and this is how this has got broken, because you've kicked it off.
No, I didn't kick it, Mercy, it fell.
Right. Well, this afternoon we're having a tea in the garden and you will not take part. You will come to your room. OK? Right.
Luke's got a bit of a reputation for making mischief.
I'm a bit of a prankster. I like playing tricks on people. It gives me a bit of a buzz. One day I decided to put cling film over the toilet before my sister actually went to the toilet.
Just before, she's noticed that the cling film's there, so she's come out screaming,
Luke, I'm gonna kill ya!
I was in hysterics on the floor and everything. It was funny.
You've got to laugh at it, because otherwise you just end up crying.
But he's not laughing now. Luke's punishment means he won't be going to this afternoon's tea party. Meanwhile, it's decision time. Which girls have made the best bread?
Please take some from each pile and just taste it.
After the taste test, it's up to the evacuees to vote for the winning loaf.
They were all really nice.
Whoever thinks number 3, then stand behind Joshua. Whoever thinks number 2, stand behind Miss Victoria. And whoever thinks number 1, stand behind Mr. Rivet. We'll do a count up.
Number 2's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 2's 1 then. So see who it is? Number 2, Chelsea and Laura.
Well done, girls.
Well done. One for you. And the other one?
What is that?
Well done.
They are well done.
They just announced the winner, and it was me and Chelsea. So I'm really glad because I actually got some sweets. They might not be the best sweets, but I'm happy with what I got. I'm really proud.
Luke might be in trouble, but his bad boy antics have impressed the girls.
Luke's in his room because he broke the pea pot. He broke the pot that you're supposed to win in the middle of the night because he threw it at someone apparently. So I'm really missing him.
If I'm being really honest, it shouldn't just be me that's in this room. It should be Harriet, Felix and Richard as well as me. But I thought I'd take the blame because I don't want them to get in trouble as well.
With Luke missing all the fun, Harry's having second thoughts about snitching.
I feel a bit like out of order, because I don't know if it was either Luke or Richard, so I don't know who smashed it, and say if Luke didn't smash it, it'll just be out of order for him getting the blame.
He didn't have any tea, which was the bread we baked. And we thought he was going to starve to death. But Natalie, the tall one who fancies Luke, said she would smuggle some food down her bra and give it to him.
Today there's no shortage of food, but during the war, ships carrying supplies from abroad could have been attacked by the Germans, so everyone was encouraged to produce their own food, to dig for victory at home.
And that included children. Football pitches, school playgrounds, back gardens and even the moat around the Tower of London were all used to plant extra crops to feed the country. Everyone had to get digging and grow their own.
OK, I wonder where I should start this one. This looks like a pretty good spot.
Oi! Don't you even think about it. That's my front lawn.
Sorry, Mrs. Rivet.
That's not very patriotic. Fortunately, there's plenty of spare land on the farm, so it's time for our evacuees to start digging their own vegetable patch.
Well, we're digging because we need to make a garden, because they've got a garden, but there's 12 of us, so they need a 12 times bigger garden, as he said.
I know this is hard work. All I'm expecting is that you do your best.
We would do this for a living. I don't care what Winston Churchill says. I'd rather starve to death.
I think the girls are doing better than the boys, Mr. Rivet. Yeah,
They're making a bit more of a showing, I have to say.
they are, aren't they? The girls cheering the boys up.
It's turned into a bit of a competition because the girls want to beat the boys, and the boys, I think at this stage they really can't be bothered because it's all suddenly starting to dawn on them that country life is actually rock hard, and digging certainly isn't an easy task.
Now then, girls, how are we doing here? I won't step on the bit that you've done. This is great. I mean, this looks really nice and neat.
Yeah, look at us. They've got like little patches of grass everywhere on there.
They just look like they've been walking on there. Doesn't even look like they've done anything, like digging-wise. That's great, right. You've got a good view of the lads here, so what do you think of their patch?
It's pathetic.
It's not the best vegetable patch in the world. I have to agree with you. I think I'll go and see what they have to say about the matter. All right, you're doing super. It's quite an interesting technique. You just sort of slice the edge and then just rip it up with your hands. Yeah?
Yeah.
I think, you know, to be honest with you, this kind of looks like you've just been sort of sticking your heels in it. Because if you look over there at what the girls have done, I mean, they've produced a really beautiful vegetable patch.
Yeah.
And this just looks a bit dodgy. Do you feel a bit embarrassed looking at what the girls are doing compared to what... I mean, they're in dresses.
No, because really they think they've done more than us, but then if we put that together with this, we probably got more.
I think Mr. Rivet will be the judge of that.
And also, earlier we had to do hard work. They didn't. They only had to cook.
Mr. Rivet's a man who definitely knows a thing or two about digging.
Goodness me. Who's done this piece here?
Tia.
Really?
Yep. Tia and Joe.
Have you really done all that on your own?
Yes. Yes, she has.
Becca me, you've done a good job there, girl. Now, boy, I want to have a look at these boys now. Luke, yours looks like I've done it with an old cultivator. Never mind, I'm actually very impressed with it all. Right, that's enough. I think Mrs. Rivet's got a cup of tea for us.
After her performance at breakfast, Tia is delighted to be back in the good books.
This morning I was in trouble, but now I'm like getting praised, so that's all right, because I wasn't really fond of today, but it's just balanced it out and now I'm feeling all right.
Well, all of this hard work and the fresh country air has really given our lads nice rosy cheeks. And it's a fact that hasn't gone unnoticed by the girls.
It's prankster Luke who set their hearts racing.
Everyone's took a liking to Luke because everyone else is like all like stupid boys and no one likes them, so everyone likes Luke instead.
He's cute. He's been giving me the eye all day, and he's been really nice and everything, and I really like him, so I don't know what'll happen then.
I got a letter today. All it said was, "To Luke, love from us all." That was about it.
So it seems that Luke is the talk of the girls' dorm. I'm going to catch up with the latest gossip.
Hello, girls, it's me. How are you doing? All right. Let's just have a little chat. What were you talking about there? Because I heard a bit of something. Hang on, I can't hear you all at once. What?
Everyone loves Luke.
So Luke is the hot one on campus. Well, listen, I'm going to leave you to it. You sleep well tonight, I'm sure you will. And it's official. Luke is the hot one on campus. Good night, girls. Good night. It may well be the end of the day here at Castle Farm, but I don't think there's any chance of our evacuees getting to sleep just yet. They've got far too much on their minds.
Next time on Evacuation, school mistress Miss Young is back with a vengeance.
Standing.
More hearty country food. And it's all too much for one homesick evacuee.
I just really miss my mum, and I just want to see her.
Trickster! What do you want?
You're behind Sarah Jane Smith.
Doctor! Stop this wedding now! She's here.
Catch up with the Doctor and a whole stack of new Sarah Jane adventures on the CBBC website. CBBC iPlayer puts you in control.